Morning.
Morning.
It is Thursday, January 74th, and it's the last day of January. Yay! And for some people, today is payday. So if you're one of those people, happy payday. What a long month. What a long 6 weeks. If like us, you got paid in the second week of December. Anyway, January's over as of tomorrow, so we can all move on with our lives.
Tomorrow's St. Bridget's Day then, isn't it?
Yes, it is, yeah. So tomorrow being Friday and all that.
First day of spring? Maybe. Let's fight about that again this year with everyone.
Speaking of weather, though, it's going to be torrential rain again across parts of the county this morning. Some snow showers are expected in places as well. A balmy 4 or 5 degrees, though.
Nice, yeah.
But yeah, expect it to be very wet today, so just bear that in mind, alright?
Let's check out today's papers now, starting with the Times Ireland edition today. A photograph from the INMO nurses' strike yesterday. Nurses out on the picket over pay and conditions. Safe staffing now, dispute on here. Some of the posters that these nurses are holding up. That's a photo in the Times today. Also on the front page, Brexit, of course, and Leo Varadkar has told Theresa May that the House of Commons vote to scrap the backstop had reinforced the need for the insurance mechanism, says the paper today. And also inside the Times today, married women and affairs. Will it really wreck a relationship? The paper looks into today.
The Irish Independent then this morning says Mary Lowry is not on trial. Slurry pit murderer case told. Underwear was taken by the accused and ex-lover wrote letter to agony aunt. So this is the story about the woman whose ex-boyfriend had disappeared and then was found several years later in a slurry pit, and the guy that's on trial for her murder, she was giving evidence in his trial over the last number of days. Brexit betrayal adds to need for backstop, Leo tells May as well. That's also on the front page of the Irish Independent this morning.
And in the Irish Examiner today, ministers may block nurses' pay incentives. Another photograph taken outside the Cork University Maternity Hospital yesterday. Give us a reason to come home is the slogan on their posters in that photo. This is an interesting one, Andrew. I don't know if you saw this one yesterday, but the Director General of the GAA, Tom Ryan, has been writing about his first year in his position, and he said that the GAA felt bullied into hosting the Lee Miller charity match. So that's an interesting take. I thought he was very brave to say that because I don't know, like obviously a lot of money was raised for good charities, and he did acknowledge that, and he said like the thing that was good about it was that the Miller family got the money that they needed and that they deserved, but he said he felt they were bullied into doing it, and he still has reservations about the whole thing. So I look forward to reading more about that. That's in the front page of the Examiner as well. And in the sports sections of all the papers today, Liverpool drew last night after all that excitement yesterday that they thought they were going to win the league nearly yesterday. They're 5 points ahead of City now, but they could have gone 7 points ahead after a 1-1 draw with Leicester last night.
The Irish Times this morning has pictures of 3 kids dressed in red wigs on the front page this morning. They were at the unveiling of the Luke Kelly statue in Dublin yesterday to school children.
They look a bit like that Colombian goalkeeper.
They do a
What
little
was his
bit.
name again?
Campos.
Oh,
no,
yeah.
it was Mexico.
No.
Name. But they
was he
look,
a goalie? Actually, the guy I'm thinking of, I'll find him now anyway. They look a bit like him.
they're at the unveiling yesterday of the Luke Kelly statue.
Luke Kelly.
EU officials set to visit Dublin for no-deal Brexit talks, and government to hold firm against pay rises is also on the front page of the Irish Times, along with scientists find little weight behind the theories of the importance of breakfast.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, look, they do look a bit like him, don't they?
This morning. Oh, yeah, your man,
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are some of the main stories on the pages of the PF Post this morning. Top trends, by the way. Shooting the Darkness is the top trend in Ireland this morning. So this was an RTE1 documentary on last night, and it was all about the men who became, who didn't mean to, but went out one day and became war photographers during the Troubles in the North, in particular in the 70s.
Wow.
And I saw the opening 20 minutes of it last night. An amazing documentary that would definitely be worth going back to the player to watch. That's trending as well this morning. Along with Operation Transformation. So the personal trainer lad Carl, who, by the way, I find him very unlikable. He probably is a lovely guy.
Carl
now.
Henry.
Is that his name?
Can I interrupt you for 1 second and say that I was completely wrong? He's a midfielder, not a goalkeeper. Carlos Valderrama was the guy I was thinking of.
Yes, yeah.
Not a goalie.
Yes.
Sorry to interrupt you about Carl Henry. Go back to him. Oh, he's nicer than nice.
I find him very unlikable, and I'd never met the guy, so maybe I'm way off. But anyway, last night people online are talking about the fact that one of the leaders was trying to do her exercises on the exercise mat, right? Mm-hmm. And she was being surrounded by the dogs, and the dogs were distracting her, and she didn't get it done properly. He said, look, can I just give you a bit of advice? Put the dogs outside. Now, what he meant, to be fair to him, was just, look, put them outside the room and do
While
your
you're
exercises.
exercising. Yeah, fair
Did
enough.
he just say, put the dogs outside in this weather? Even though Operation Transformation.
God.
Yeah, anyway.
Made weeks ago.
Yeah, so anyway, so he's there, and or he was trending.
I'll tell you one thing about him now that happened recently was, I think we talked about it here. He said there was a Twitter discussion about Krispy Kreme donuts, and he actually said he'd never tasted a donut.
Well,
and I just went, go away now, mister.
The irony in all of that is that last night was all about Krispy Kreme donuts, because they set up a kind of a mobile station for Operation Transformation, a stationary bike in a shopping centre in Dublin near Krispy Kreme.
Yeah.
And they basically said to people, they were offering them free donuts if they went on a bike for 20 minutes.
Well, he says he's never tasted a donut. Like, unless you're celiac, there's no reason for you to never have tasted a donut.
Yeah, well,
like, even a poor old diabetic would probably take a tiny little bit off one just to see what it's like.
Yeah, just to
spit it out again.
Just to get a lick. And Bournemouth are trending this morning as well, because they hammered Chelsea 4-0 last night. And,
Unbelievable.
Eddie Howe is really kind of putting his name out there now as the possible replacement for, or the next Manchester United manager. So his name was touted already. And I think doing something like hammering Chelsea 4-0 kind of doesn't do your CV any bad either. So well done to him.
I'm loving the story about Ariana Grande, if you haven't spotted this online yet. So her new song is called 7 Rings. She thought that she got a tattoo of 7 rings, a Japanese symbol, on her hand. Turns out, now she said she didn't get to the end of the tattoo. It was too painful or something, was it?
I don't know. I didn't know that.
She had some excuse anyway. And instead, the low, or the symbol that she now has tattooed on her hand says small barbecue grill.
Oh my God, that's
so
brilliant.
did you see it?
I haven't seen it.
Yeah,
no,
yeah. It looks like you'd nearly guess it was a barbecue grill.
I can only imagine though, because I do have a friend who genuinely thought that they got, life, love and happiness tattooed on the back of their shoulder. And when a friend of ours who worked in the bar with us, he was Chinese.
Yeah.
He told him that actually it was a takeaway menu.
I was going to say,
food,
sweet sour chicken.
Yeah, it was. I can't remember exactly what it was, but it was something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know why people get Asian symbols tattooed on themselves unless it means something, unless they love Asia, like they love China or Japan or something.
There is a tattoo I've always wanted, which is an Asian symbol. I can't tell you what it is, but I someday I'll get it. I've been saying this for 15 years now, but someday I'm going to get it here.
Someone says Carl Henry, something about him. Oh, poor Carl.
What about him?
Something about him, says Sabrina.
She says there's something about him.
Maybe she thinks
enough,
there's something about him.
Yeah.
He's got it.
I don't know, there's just something about him.
I've got a question for you.
Yeah?
On this day, 31st of January 2012, a car became the best-selling car of all time, selling 37.5 million units. Now, I know the answer, obviously, because I'm reading it. If I did 3 guesses, I probably would have guessed this car, but I don't think I would have gotten it first go.
Okay.
Do you want to have a little think about that? So, now, it could have been surpassed since then, because this is 2012, but I just spotted it and things that happened on this day.
January 31st, 2012. Okay.
Best-selling car of all time, what model? What make and model?
I'm going to say the Ford Mustang.
What?
Yeah.
Best-selling car of all time. Ford Mustang's a luxury car.
Yeah, but the Ford Mustang in America is huge. That's why I was thinking American.
Not that huge. They're still expensive. Like.
Yeah, but like...
That's kind of like saying a BMW 5 Series or something.
I know, I'm not talking about a brand new one, nearly every...
No, this is bog standard, flying out of the fucking factory. Oh, excuse me, I cursed.
Right, okay. I've no idea then.
Definitely not a Ford Mustang anyway.
Right then,
No.
fair enough then.
It's nothing that cool.
Morning to Michelle. She says, good morning, Michelle. Mary Murphy's well was on. Sabrina, we mentioned. Ed Toomey as well. Morning, Ed. How's it going, Kate? He says, Andrew, Christmas is gone. I know I'm wearing a Christmas jumper. It's freezing outside. Get over it. Noreen says, good morning to you both as well. And Louise was on. Morning to Mag as well. Hey, Mag, how's it going? Michael O'Sullivan and Breda as well, just with the people who were watching the video this morning. Morning, guys. Thanks for getting in touch this morning. I'd be honest with you. I'm frozen this morning, so I had to wear something warm and woolly. So there you go. So are you going to tell us now or on air?
Yeah, I'll tell you now. Well, like I would have guessed probably a Fiesta.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know, like a Focus or the equivalent of a Focus in America or something along those lines. But the answer is a Toyota Corolla.
That was actually going to be my first guess. I can't believe I didn't go with that.
I can't believe you went with a car that's probably the 500th best-selling car of all time.
Well, it's just because they're so huge in America, that's all. That's the only reason I thought. I thought it was going to be a trick question.
They're huge in movies, I would say.
Okay.
I don't know if they're that huge, but anyway, yeah.
So
I saw one the other day, a blue one, it was class.
Morning to anybody who's a Toyota Corolla driver.
You have the most common car in the world.
Nice. Right, listen, we're going to wrap up because we have a busy one this morning, and we've another staycation coming up on the show this morning. Another chance to win passes to the Jive Weekend, which is happening in Killarney this coming Saturday. And we also, well, we won't do this. Cathal Flaherty is in for the afternoon show later on today at 3 o'clock. Carl's going to tell you all about how he got on last night. He was supporting Tears for Fears in the INEC. It was actually, he only told me yesterday that it was their first gig of their new world tour. So they started in Killarney, and he was supporting them last night. So we found out how he got on later on. I did see a couple of Snapchats and Instagram lives last night of people during Rule the World, and it was absolutely hopping. So
cool.
Looked like it was a good crack.
Okay, have a great Thursday, whatever you do get up to. I will talk to you soon. We're live in about 2 minutes here on Radio Kerry. Have a good one. Bye.
Enjoy. Good luck.